Well, Stu, it's a big game Saturday against Woking. A team we know really well, playing them over the years in the National League South and the National League. What do you expect from Dallas's men this time? Obviously, they're a different prospect now, they're full time.
Yeah, I think it'll be a tough game. Like every game's tough in the division. They're in a little bit of bad form, which is easy to do in this division, but they're in a good position in the league. They're sitting in mid-table. They're not a million miles away from kicking on 3 or 4 places. And it's the same for us. So if we win on Saturday, we kind of go a point behind them. We're in a good position as well. They're a big physical team, and we're going to have be able to deal with it. They'll put it on us from restarts and stuff like that, and they've probably got one of the best attacking midfielders in the league, in my eyes, Max Kretschmar, who arrives from midfield on the money every time, and I think he's got 9 league goals this season for that. So he's one that we're going to definitely have to watch. But I'm looking forward to it. We had a good game opening day of the season at our place, where we were 2-0 down, and it was from Kretschmar, scored 2 goals, and we kind of give ourselves a bit of a mountain to climb. We just got to make sure on Saturday that we don't give ourselves a mountain to climb in a game like this, and we give ourselves a chance, because it's the big moments within the games, in these sort of games. The same again against Bournemouth the other night. We conceded from a pullback late on in the game, and we were in the game all the way up until then. We've got to make sure that we're in the game. But yeah, it's a game that we're looking forward to and confident going into.
And you sort of mentioned the Bournemouth. How was it last week? I guess it's a bit of contrast where, we got the performance against Bournemouth but not the result, and then probably didn't necessarily get the performance against Dover but got the win and ground it out. Do you think in the end it sort of evened itself out and we did get what we deserved from our 2 games last week?
Yeah, football has funny ways of doing that, but when you watch the Dover game back, we restricted them to probably the least, it was the least amount of chances that any other team in the division has restricted them to. Was it a highly entertaining game? No, but our lads were fatigued. It was tough to not play within 4 weeks, to come up against Bournemouth, a team that's flying high at the top of the division, and have to put all that energy and all that effort into it. And your adrenaline, because you haven't played football in so long, your adrenaline gets you through it. And then it kind of took us even till Tuesday, when we play them on the Saturday, it's a killer, because you're still really recovering. The lads were stiff, we were stiff, and I thought the first half performance showed that. Second half, the lads come out and turned it around.
And then, just as I was about to say, second half performance must have been really refreshing, and good to see players, like Connor, who have been out the team for a while, come back and put a performance in. And the same, I guess, you've got for Nick and Mehdi, and then the lads who were suspended coming back to it. Must be a welcome boost for you at the moment.
Oh no, definitely. Look, it's something that we've said about the lads within the team, chipping in with goals. Charlesy scored, which is good from midfield. Coop's got 2 assists. Connor Stevens scored. Alex Dyer played some lovely creative passes within the game. He was involved in Charlesy's goal as well. So I thought our midfield combined it really well, and they looked a threat.
And then going back to Woking, how much of a different prospect are they, if any, from playing them from the first game of the season?
They've got a similar squad. They haven't changed too many players here and there. So I think it'll be a similar kind of game. I think they will come and try and high press us and try and stop us playing. And obviously we've got to work on ways of getting around that and getting through that. So it's a game that I think will be similar. They're a physical team. We've just got to make sure that we don't give away too many silly free kicks and give them the advantage of putting the ball in our box.
And then sort of going back to them, I know you mentioned Kretschmar. They went from part-time to full-time this year, and I guess it looked for a phase that he could be leaving there. So where sort of we benefited with bringing in Coops and Jack Cook. Is it sort of I guess a trait of Doughty's that he has players he relies on, because he was with him at Hampton and he's managed to stay on this year, and like you say, he's added 9 goals so far this season, and he's really been an informed player.
Yeah, I think he's a top player, and I thought Dowse has probably done everything he can to keep him, because players like that are hard to come by, that can chip in with goals from midfield like that. To get 9 goals from midfield is incredible in this league. So yeah, I think he's a top player, and Dowse has always had him with him, and he probably enjoys playing at Woking. He's probably part of the furniture now, as you call it in football. He's probably one of the fans' favourite, and he's done an incredible job since he's been there. He's been a great servant to the club.
And then we go back to sort of affairs happening here. The club's had quite good news this week with people added, directors added, and investment into the club. I guess fans will want to know is any of the investment going into the team straight away, or is this sort of more of a long-term thing?
I think there's a short-term plan and there is a long-term plan. I think if the right player comes available to us, that we can bring in, then I think the board will back us and we'll try and bring them in. It's a difficult market, like I've said, to try and sign players on a permanent within this window. We're still looking, we're still in contact with players, but everyone's starting to come back fit now. The squad's starting to look a bit healthier. Sese will be back from international duty for the Grimsby game. So we're starting to get pretty much everyone back to full squad. So we're happy with the squad at the minute. The squad's performed to a very high level this season. Look, I said to you before, we're always looking, and if we can strengthen it, then we'll look to strengthen it. But if the right players don't come along for the right kind of finances, then there's no point in us doing any business just to sign someone for the sake of signing someone.
I was saying, you see teams around us sort of adding to their squads so far this week. I know Southend signed a striker today. Maidenhead have made a lot of changes too. But like, as you say, you've got lots of players coming back. You've almost got a full squad again. Are you sort of happy with the crop you've got at the moment, especially ones who've sort of been out for a while and need to prove themselves?
No, yeah, look, they're coming back. People are coming back from fitness. We're starting to get a full squad. Obviously, that's the one thing that we did probably benefit from, having the 4 weeks off, that we started to get bodies back. They're coming back now, they're back in training, so we've just got to get them up to speed, like Connor Stevens. We'd have liked to have managed his minutes a bit more, but he's come through it with no reactions, which is brilliant. So yeah, look, we're happy with the squad. But it's hard for us because when you're looking in this window to go and sign permanent players, you've got to buy players. And us as a football club, we're not in a position to go buy players. Like Southend, they bought the forward today. Like, we'd have loved him. He was on loan at Stockport last year. He's a player that we had on our radar in the sense that we liked, and we knew that he was at Chorley, but we knew that they wanted a big fee for him. So it's just something, a market that we can't really move in. We're looking for the players that are of our level, that have probably had a bit of a bad season from last season, and then they want to go on a high. We know what they can bring to the team, and then players from the league below that are on their way up.
And then I guess going back to the investment again, how much does that sort of give a buzz to sort of the management team and the players, even though that stuff happening off the pitch that's seemingly positive and good news? Does it lift everyone on the playing side of things too?
I'd say at first it probably doesn't get to the players as a level, but us as a management team, it's exciting to get more people on the board, a bit more investment, probably do some upgrade on the ground around that. Like, it all helps. Like, we've got to, as a football club, like you say, we've got to establish ourselves in this division. We've got to grow slowly, and we just got to take one step at a time. And it's a move in the right direction. I'm delighted to have them on board, and the hard work that's going behind the scenes from board level to get these type of sponsors on board is incredible. And it's the same for us on the football side. We're working hard. They're obviously seeing our results on the pitch and seeing that it's something that they want to come on being part of. So it's a credit to the lads, and that's where the players help get them on board, because the way they're performing on the pitch helps bring sponsors on board. So yeah, we're delighted really, but there's a buzz around, I'd say, boardroom level and management level, because you're excited about what potentially could happen in the future.
Okay, well, thanks for your time, Stuart. Cheers for that.
Cheers, Chris. All the best.